Hey horse lovers, welcome back to Free Spirit Equestrian. So today I'm going to be trying yet again another new saddle on Mr. Mushu. So this one is an English one and it is a Kent and Masters. So I'll tell you more about it. He is an absolute hot mess. So we're going to groom him, head to the outdoor arena, warm up and try this saddle under saddle. Look at your mustache, it's growing back. You're so cute. Okay, let's get started because he's a disaster. Okay. 20 pounds of hair. He's gonna get clipped in a few weeks, but it's still getting cold at night. Why did I wear this hair catching sweater? I have no idea. All right, Mushu, we groomed you the best we possibly could for right now. So now I'm gonna go grab the saddle and we're gonna set it on him. Okay, so I purchased a Kent and Masters Cob saddle, and this is just like an all-purpose, general purpose saddle. And what that means is you can ride English in it, obviously. You can do flat work, you can jump a little bit, do a little bit of everything. It's kind of like an all-around English saddle. So we're gonna set this on him. This is specifically designed for a cob with low withers and a flat short back, which is exactly what he is. And I have the extra wide gullet in it, and you can actually change these out, okay? Also, I am not sponsored by Kent Masters. I just simply got him the saddle because we've been trying so many, and we're gonna see how this one is today. So let's set it on his back and look. He's a juggle boy. We want to make sure it's in the right spot. I mean, it definitely sits flat. And it's brand spanking new, so the flocking, which is the wool inside the panels, is going to have to settle a bit. But looking at it, it sits really flat. It seems pretty stable. I do think this could potentially be a slightly too narrow gullet. However, they have extra wide and then XXX wide. So we're just gonna ride in the extra wide to see once my weight is in the saddle. And if for some reason everything else checks out, except it's a little too narrow, that will be okay because we can switch a gullet out and make it wider or whatever needs to happen. So far, I feel comfortable at least trying it out under saddle. So yeah. And we do have it on trial, so if it doesn't fit him and I don't like it, I can send it back. I always look at it first without the pad to see how it sits on him, and now obviously we're gonna put a saddle pad on. Good boy. Such a good Mushu, such a good Mushu. Look at the pony. Today I'm going to be riding Mushu in my ECP saddle pad, and it's purple as you can see. So right now I'm just getting the saddle on him. I'm putting the keepers behind the first billet. The keepers are just straps on the saddle, and that essentially keeps the saddle in place. Sometimes I'll even just cut them off. I don't really feel like they work or have a huge purpose. So that's what I'm currently doing. And then I'm pulling the saddle pad up in between the pommel, which is called tenting, which creates airflow through the channel and the spine. So there's not heat just sitting on his back. It can dissipate better. And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, but this is Mushu. So he is a registered Gypsy Vanner. He's imported from England. His color is a silver bay with a lace blanket, and he is 4 years old. So he has been under saddle ever since the very end of June, early July of last year. And this winter, we just focused on a lot of groundwork and some under saddle work, and we're getting back into the swing of things. He's been doing really well so far, and I'm just super excited to try the saddle on him today because it has been a bit of a struggle because he is just shaped like a hot potato. Okay, so now I'm gonna lunge him just to warm him up a little bit, and then we're gonna ride and try this baby out. Am I like just a headrest to you? What are you doing? Mwah. You're so cute. You're so cute. Sleepy today. We're just gonna do a short little warm up. So overall, Mushu has been doing really well. I've been riding him in a lot of group settings to get him used to that, and he's been great. Obviously, I've been riding him without other horses in here too. I've had 2 students ride him so far. And now that the weather's warmed up a little bit, he's been really good. I mean, this winter we focused on a lot of groundwork, and of course we still rode. But lots of groundwork and liberty, which I think is helping to pay off, you know, for our saddle and upcoming busy season. Mushu came to me a couple years ago, almost completely unstarted. So he did not know how to lunge. He never had a saddle on, anything like that. The only thing he knew was basic handling skills. So how to lead, load in a trailer, groom, pick up the hooves, which are all very important skills. But essentially, I have trained him from the ground up, and it has been such an incredible experience. It is a ton of work to develop a younger horse. It takes so much time and consistency. Honestly, it's really hard, and some days are so fun and rewarding. Other days it can be challenging and even discouraging at times, because obviously you have a lot of variables. You don't know how the horse is going to respond to new things. You have weather that affects things sometimes, but overall Mushu has been a joy to work with, and I have spent a ton of time training him. And I think that this spring and summer is really our time to shine, because we had a lot going on last year. I was able to spend an entire year of just doing groundwork with him because he wasn't old enough to ride. And then once he turned 4, I mounted him and started his under saddle work. But he's only been under saddle, like I said, since end of June, early July last year. And then now we're going to be able to get a lot more into our under saddle work and go on some trail rides, because winter is finally at its end. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, I just want to say it takes so much work to develop a young horse. And this year, I just want to work on strengthening his canter, work on more side passing under saddle, and just getting him more soft and supple and taking him on the trails. And once he's solid in all those departments, I will be moving him along to a new home, because that is just part of what I do, and it's my mission at Free Spirit Equestrian, and he is a fantastic horse, and he's going to make somebody so happy someday. But I'm not quite ready yet. He still needs some time. Seems pretty chill. We're going to put his bitless bridle on, then we're going to try the saddle out. So it seems like it was pretty stable. The only thing with him is a lot of times the saddles slip forward on him. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And like worst case, he is so round with like nothing holding it in place, like he doesn't have a wither or anything. We might have to end up using like a crupper in the future, which basically goes around the tail and keeps the saddle from slipping forward, but we'll just see. Plus we don't want it sliding up on his neck in general anyway. Okay, ready? Come on. Let's go. Right. Are you ready, Smooshy? So today I have Mushu in our Auburn Classic bitless bridle, and he's wearing the pink shimmer snap out brow band in Auburn as well. Are you cute? Gotta fix this rein. There we go. All right, buddy, let's see how the saddle works. Let's see if we like it. It gonna fit ya? Aw. I think the stirrups might have to adjust them again because it's a little different for each saddle. So far it feels pretty good. So I'm riding in a 17.5-inch seat and it feels pretty comfortable so far. Again, it's a brand new saddle, so it will take a little bit of time to break in as well, but so far so good. We're gonna warm up at the walk for a little while, of course, to warm up Mushu and work on some halting, but also, of course, to get a feel for the saddle. Now, I do feel like it has already slipped forward a little bit, so we are probably going to have to end up using a crupper, I think, with any saddle, like English saddle. So we're just going to keep an eye on that, but we're going to pay attention to how it's fitting besides it slipping forward. Because like I said, the crupper will prevent that, and I honestly don't think any saddle is going to stay in place just based on the way he is shaped. There's nothing there to hold it in. But overall, the saddle feels pretty comfortable. I mean, despite the fact that it's brand new. And Mushu is being such a good boy. He's just walking off calmly and just being responsive, and he's super sweet. Now, with Mushu, he is a cob, so he's a Gypsy Vanner, and the way they move, in my opinion, they can be athletic, but they're not as agile. Now, luckily, Mushu is pretty light on his feet, considering he is a cob, but they just need a little bit more balance work because they take a little more time to develop physically. They take a little more time to mature. But overall, I think he's been doing really well, and I really enjoy his gaits. They're actually very smooth. Like, he's not clunky. The only thing he likes to do is come to the middle, which is normal, especially when somebody's filming, and just stuff like that. But it's pretty relaxed, and he's just a fun boy to be around. He's such a sweetheart. It also just makes me laugh because I am 5 feet tall and I feel like I look big on Mushu. Now, he can carry a decent amount of weight. I mean, he's very stocky and he's around 14 hands high, but it's just hilarious because I am a short person and even I feel like I don't look super small on him, which is just so funny. He's such a little hot dog. It just cracks me up. But yeah, he just has the best personality. He's very gentle and docile, and he's so willing. Like, that's what's important to me right now. Like, what I'm looking for out of our rides is just him trying and putting an effort and, you know, just no spooking or anything weird. Like, that is my goal for each ride, and just to develop a little bit more balance and strength as we go. That is what I'm looking for. So he is a green horse, so our ride today is not going to look like a finished prospect, because I've taken it really slow with him and we're getting back into, like I said, the swing of things with spring here. But he responds. He listens when I say to trot. He trots. When I ask for canter, he'll canter. Halt, he'll halt. Like, it's really good. So I'm just glad that he's very responsive.
Well, Kyle? Looks pretty good. It's not bouncing around too much or anything. How's it feel?
Pretty good, like a new saddle though.
Yeah, it's not moving side to side at all like some of the other ones were. Staying fairly flat on his back.
So far, I'm liking the saddle. Now, looking at it at the trot, it's not popping up too much in the back. Remember, the flocking is brand new, so that's going to settle in a little bit, and it's just going to take some time. I do feel like the saddle has slipped forward, and like I said, we're just going to have to use a crupper. I think that's just what's going to be needed for him just because of his shape. But we're going to kind of look past that as of now because we're going to use that crupper as a solution. And overall, I think it's working. We're going to see what it's like at the canter. So his canter still needs a lot of work, but he'll definitely do it, and it'll just give us a little more of an idea how the saddle is fitting. He's so funny. He just keeps wanting to go by Kyle. It's cracking me up. But because the saddle has slipped forward, it's also pushed my leg and my foot like near his shoulder. And yeah, like that is just a problem with him considering his shape. But hopefully this crupper, I'm either going to buy one or just borrow one from a friend just to make sure it works and get him comfortable with it. But yeah, sometimes each horse just warrants something a little different. I did have a pony before that needed a crupper because she wasn't as wide as him, but she was shaped like him, like a barrel. And any saddle would just slide forward onto her neck, even if it fit really well. So sometimes that's just what you have to do with these roundies.
Yeah? Does it feel good?
Yeah, it's just new, so. Now I'm going to try a little canter and see how the saddle looks, besides the fact that it's a little far forward. Mushu is a very flat mover, especially in his canter. Honestly, I think he did really well, all things considered, with his training and everything, and a new saddle. And right now I'm just in a half seat to get off his back a little bit, and he's doing great. So in regards to the saddle, like, it definitely has went up on his neck, and I am going to get off and adjust it before we canter the other direction. But like I said, other than that, I think once we get the crupper, it's going to be a good fit for him. It's really hard to stay in a good seat position when the saddle slips forward, because then my leg is pushed forward up past his shoulder, which obviously is what we don't want. So I felt that happening. I asked him to slow down and stop, praised him because he was a really good boy. And then I did get off and adjust it. But the second you start moving forward, it slips forward again. So it's honestly quite irritating. And this is just the downfall of having very flat-backed, low-withered horses, is sometimes it is very hard to fit a saddle to them. But like I said, I think this one's going to work. We're just going to have to add on that extra crupper. Okay, so far I think it's a good fit. Feels like a brand new saddle, right? Like it's brand spanking new. The flocky needs to settle. These stirrups, I think I need to put different leathers on because I feel like I need a slightly shorter stirrup. I'm getting like pitched back because I'm reaching and I'm on the very top hole. So actually I might just end up punching another couple holes in these leathers. These leathers work for me in a different saddle, but each one is rigged a little different. So kind of ignore my seat. But isn't Mushu doing good? I know you guys haven't seen like a ton of like full videos of him under saddle, and I just think he's doing really well considering it's spring and everything. So early spring. It's hard because he sort of likes to put his head down, and then you also have to encourage him in the canter. Plus he's literally a potato. So it's really hard right now to look pretty. But once we actually get into the canter and canter for a while, it gets really good. And I think width wise, I don't think I'd put a more narrow gullet in this. I think it's pretty good. You're just a good boy. You're just a good cob. It's crazy hair. It's crazy. Okay, now I'm just going to take him out and trot a few more laps. After I canter, especially on a younger horse, I then like to give him a little break. So we walked around for a bit and then take him back out and trot. And I want to get him in a little bit more of a working trot versus just his little jog shuffle. And he's doing really good. So the reason you're seeing him put his head up, and this is one of his things we're working on, is when somebody's standing in the middle, he wants to go by them. Now, he's not going to just like barge and totally, dip his head down and pull you away off the rail, but he keeps like wanting to kind of lean towards the person standing there. You can see right when we go past Kyle here, he really wanted to stop. Like, look at him. He's like, ooh, hi. But I just put my leg on him and gently asked him to move forward. When nobody's in the ring standing, then he just does not do that at all. He stays on the rail, puts his head down, and goes forward. But this is really good because we need to practice this, right? And when I ride him, I obviously don't always have somebody filming us because I ride him a lot and Believe it or not, I don't film every single thing I do. So this is good practice for us. But you can see he's putting his little head and eyes towards the middle, looking at Kyle. And I just lightly ask him with the outside rein and inside leg to stay focused and forward. And that's just something that's super normal. And again, as we continue, I think he's going to be really, really good and is not going to worry about coming to the middle.
The little Mushy. Look at him. Look at the little Mushy. He's so cute. Are you hot? It's hot, huh? We got cool out. You did so good. You did so good. You did. Good boy. Touch. Touch. Good boy. All right, we're gonna cool out a little bit. Like I said, I think this is gonna work. I think once it settles in, keep an eye on the gullet, width, break it in, punch another hole so I have a shorter stirrup because that was a little bit of a struggle. Like, see, they're barely, they need to be up just a smidge. Mainly it's hard because riding him bareback is actually easier to an extent, but it's mainly hard because I have to keep him forward and he's super round and really, really wide. Yes, you are wide, I'm sorry. And, you know, just he's green, so it's like all these things, it's hard to sit and look nice, but we have good moments. And he's super willing.
Mushu truly is the sweetest horse. He's such a gentle boy, and you can just see it in his little face that he tries so hard and he wants to please and he's laid back. I mean, when he's a little older, like he's only 4 years old. When he is older, he is just going to be such a little dreamboat. I mean, he already is. He's a sweet horse. I just can't get over how cute he is. And he's basically, in my opinion, a plush toy brought to life. That's what I view him as.
I'm excited that we have a saddle that I think is gonna work. I love it. You did so good, buddy. He's such a good boy. So also today I am wearing my Bay Girl lipstick. So it's more of a muted rose. I think it's a warm color. I absolutely love this one. And it matches my sweater today. So that's why we decided to go with that one. So yeah, you can check out all of our lipsticks and our bitless bridles at the Spirited Horse Boutique. Link in the comments and the description. All right, horse lovers, I hope you enjoyed our bitless ride and trying out our new Kenton Masters all-purpose saddle. I'm glad that it's gonna work for us. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything Free Spirit Equestrian or any updates. And Mushu and I will see you next time. Bye. He's such a good boy. Good boy, you gotta get you treats. Such a good boy. Mushy. You're such a good boy. Can we get the spot? Can we get the spot? Oh, we're getting the good stuff. So funny. No, we gotta do the butt strap. Is he doing anything with his lips? No. Good boy, you did good. You did good. You did.
Cleanup crew.
already had your snack. You already had it.